We've all been there before. You're in the middle of a game and all of a sudden, the internet stops working. The internet then turns back on, you finally reconnect, only to be met with the enemy team having killed all of your teammates, and they are now ending the game. Also, everyone in the chat hates you. Well, in solo queue, you lose some LP and you move on. But just recently, this exact situation happened in Riot's newest tournament, the League of Legends Asia Invitational. This is a new event featuring teams from the LPL, LCK, and the LCP who didn't qualify to Worlds. But anyway, during one of the first matches of the event between the Ninjas in Pajamas and Viking Esports, the best of 3 match would go all the way to Game 3 to determine the winner. And for almost an entire 29 minutes, Viking Esports would maintain a lead against their opponents. Until the 7-1 Volibear just casually walks into the entire enemy team at Baron and dies. Seconds after that, the mid laner Twisted Fate would also be caught walking aimlessly in the river and also gets killed. The game would then be paused. You can see the exact moment that borderline every member of the team disconnects and starts walking back to base. Even before the pause, you can see the moment the webcam froze for the Vikings top laner, who then returns showcasing agony.
Look at Kratos, his hands are in his eye. Literally the entirety of the Vikings team just stopped moving because they disconnected.
Now, for one reason or another, this phase of the tournament was played with all teams playing from home. So as the casters would specify on the broadcast, it would be unlikely that Riot is able to use their magic technology that allows them to rewind the game due to both teams not playing on whatever setup Riot usually uses for these kinds of tournaments. Soon after the pause, a message appeared on screen saying, "Due to Vikings network instability, the match will restart shortly. The staff are urgently addressing the problem. Please wait for a moment." The pause only lasted about 4 minutes until the decision was made to just continue the game as normal. Odds are, they quickly came to the conclusion that the chrono break technology isn't available, so that's not an option.
Generally, to do a chrono break, my understanding is there needs to be like a Riot person there, like there's specific people that can do it.
And the only remaining options would be to continue the game or cancel this game and restart a new game all over again, which has happened in the past, but it's a rare occurrence and I don't think it'd be acceptable this late into the game. And to play devil's advocate, hypothetically, if teams were able to restart games due to internet problems, you could eventually run into a team who's playing a losing game and intentionally disconnects their internet to get another chance at playing the game again. So to not deal with strange rules and exceptions, the organizers felt the best decision here was just to resume the game and move on. However, the worst case scenario did happen. The Vikings just had 2 players on their team die, the opponents got a free Baron, and despite their efforts, within the next minute, they'd be watching their Nexus explode.
Can they actually end the game? Yeah, they've got Baron.
100%.
Oh, God.
I don't know what to say, bro.
This is going to be a scoreboard that they are going to want to have to get back. Kratos is going to get stopped. And NIP, it is going to be the LPL by dubious means.
Look at Lee. Look at Lee. He knows. He literally, the entirety of NIP know what just happened. Like, that feels so bad.
Also, by the way, you might be wondering what happened. Why did their internet disconnect? It was initially speculated that this was due to a DDoS attack that Riot was dealing with between the dates of October 5th and October 7th, as this match took place on October 8th. But actually, this team was playing from Vietnam and the region was unaffected by the DDoS attack. Instead, during that time, Vietnam was dealing with unfortunate weather conditions that affected their internet connection. Earlier in the day, another team from Vietnam also suffered through network issues, but the timing was a bit more kind and they were able to pause the game before any issues took place.
Xiaoshu that needs to be such a big factor on the split pushes. We get another pause. It's okay, everybody. If you missed game 1, it does seem like the unfortunate remote aspect of our tournament, making it a little bit harder on our LCP representatives. Yeah.
Oh, we're back.
I didn't even get through the whole thing. So if you join late, all right, guys. All right, listen.
This was sadly a simple connection issue at the worst time possible. And this very much led to the losing team protesting this decision. On their Twitter post announcing the result of the match, they said, "Great job, boys. Vikings didn't lose this game." But obviously, unfortunately, they did. Also, I should mention, just in case, that this isn't just a random decision. This is most certainly a written rule that all the teams agreed to at a certain point, just probably not something they thought would actually happen. The team later took out their frustration at dinner, where their jungler posted a picture of themselves angrily eating a frog leg with the caption, "Since Vikings lost due to their messed up internet, this frog has to be punished." To sidetrack for a moment, one of the only other times that Riot ran into a similar situation was in 2018 in the LCS when a game-breaking bug occurred 32 minutes into a game.
We're gonna try and get some damage done, but
we entered the Matrix!
But I said it was deja vu already, so certainly there may or may not be a glitch.
After a long break to try and fix the situation, this bug resulted in the game crashing in a way that Riot wasn't able to restore. And instead of forcing the players to play the game all over again, Riot just outright chose a winner. In this case, between the two teams, Clutch Gaming and Echo Fox was up 10,000 gold and had 4 dragons among other benefits. It was clear that they had all the advantages and were likely going to end the game. However, this was still a controversial decision, as in League, anything can happen, and it's not over until it's over. But regardless, the decision stood, and this is one of the few professional games to be decided without a Nexus exploding.
All right, with that, I have a statement for you guys. In the Clutch Gaming versus Echo Fox game, the game server crashed at 32:26. We were unable to chrono break this game, and League officials are ruling the game a victory for Echo Fox. Fox was currently up 7 turrets to 0. There was 1 inhibitor down on Clutch Gaming's side, a 4 dragon lead for Echo Fox, and a 10k gold lead for Echo Fox. League officials have ruled that Clutch Gaming did not have a reasonable chance to come back in this game and will award Fox with the game victory.
But going back to the Vikings game, to make matters worse, this loss would end up being more important than it seemed. Although this is somewhat of a smaller, more insignificant tournament, this is still an official Riot tournament with a significant prize pool. For a lot of the teams involved, the prize money isn't too important since these bigger LPL and LCK teams already deal with ridiculous numbers in their budgets. But for the teams from the LCP, who in this case are both from Vietnam, specifically the team affected here, a chance at an $80,000 prize is very significant. To put it into perspective, the total prize pool for the LCP in 2025 was $80,000. First place took home $26,000. Meanwhile, just getting 3rd place in the new Asia Invitational gets you $28,000. I say that to say not only did they lose an important competitive match, but the unfortunate timing of that internet problem potentially cost them tens of thousands of dollars. In case I didn't mention it, this tournament only consists of 8 teams, so winning that match would have almost guaranteed them being top 6 with their fate still in their hands. Instead, they would go on to lose their next match and come dead last.